recording. Before we get started, and echo.
I borrow Ava for a quick second? Please hold.
So before we get started, I have a question for the Heroes Party. Is there any reason we need to do any role playing on Origin?
I had a pair of in-betweens that I'd wanted to do, but ran out of time because I was waiting for other actions to wrap up.
I mean, because so far this is what I know wants to be done. Modify the shuttle so it can move more easily in and out of the cargo bay. Easy enough. A camping trip with Duro and the girls. Easy enough. So the way I see it, 2 weeks time skip and we're Gucci.
2 weeks.
Yeah. A week to modify the shuttle and a week for the camping trip. You don't want to tell the girls short.
Are they going to want to spend a week out in the desert?
Spending time with Duro, playing, learning, you know, not being cooped up in a ship. Fuck yeah.
It's supposed to take Tisara almost exactly that long to imbue her crystal.
Damn. So, here for when Master Palpatine is more powerful than the origin of the cosmic force.
It's more like the a lot of stuff like this is kind of like speed of plot. Hate to say that, but that's kind of the truth.
All right. Well, I tell you what, the camping trip would come first because theoretically the shuttle can be done in flight, and Duro would not know until he asked at some point how long Pisara needed. So the camping trip would come first because he wanted to stay no more than another week. Uh, so then at the end, when he gets back from the camping trip, since people doing their crystals can talk briefly, he'd be like, "Hey, so how's that coming?" And she'd be like, "I feel like I need another week." And he'd be like, "What? Another week?" But then he'd be like, "All right, fine, we can just work on the shuttle." Yeah, that's how I see it playing out.
I don't care how you see it in your head canon. I'm just all I'm asking is there any scenes that need to be played out? Because if not, it's going to be a 2 week skip.
Honestly, the things I wanted done are doable as an in between. So if you grant special dispensation for me to do two short in betweens, set this right before the time skip, then I'm Gucci to skip.
So, what is it you want to do?
Duro wanted to talk to Astra because he reviewed the security footage. He saw what she tried to. Where did I drop out?
Nowhere.
Oh, you got all that?
Wanted to talk to Astra because he reviewed the security footage and then you dropped out.
Okay, so I said a little more than that. So I did drop out. Anyway, he saw what Astra tried to teach Hodge, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I did want to learn that," because Astra told him about it when Quinn tried to help her with it on Backlid way back when. So
I'm going to put a pin in that one for just a split second. That happened first in Astra's quarters and then in Hadaza's, if memory serves. Correct me if I'm wrong, Astra.
That is correct. Duro would not have seen it. Hodge,
okay,
I did tell Duro about it.
That's my player mistake then, because I thought it happened in the galley, not in the quarters.
Well,
Mm,
hang on a second. Let me pull the pin out of that because as captain of the Gungnir, Duro does have access to the private cameras.
Yes, but you said they were turned off, and he wouldn't have looked at those anyway unless he needed them for more context on what was going
Okay.
on with
Well, the
with
reason
the
why I'm saying is because only right now Duro's the only one that knows it. And if he goes and has that conversation with Astra, that may raise questions.
well, let's before we go off on that tangent, I'm going back to the in between where it started and find out where it actually started. That's legit.
Yeah.
So you guys talk and let me peek.
Yeah. So
Okay, well, like I said, Duro flat out did not look at the private cameras. So if it did happen in the quarters, he did not know what she tried to teach
okay,
Hodge.
fair enough.
I thought it happened in the galley, which is why I assumed he knew. Well then, if Duro doesn't, if that if nothing reminded Duro of Clouds and Breezes, then there's no reason for him to ask Astra to teach it to Cheery and himself, which is what he was going to ask. The other in between I wanted to do, and I was waiting for Hodge to finish her journal entries, was he wanted to at around lunchtime, because I realized all of the stuff we were doing was right after breakfast because everyone got an early start to the morning. Duro wanted to see if Hodge was down for a run, and
Answer to
he had
that'd
a
be
light picnic lunch just to get her
excuse.
off the ship for a couple hours.
Yes, please.
But again, that's definitely bite-sized, doable in an in-between. And if we want to skip, like 2 weeks, as long as I can still do the picnic in between,
I don't have a
I'm okay
problem.
with skipping ahead.
I don't have a problem with you guys doing in betweens. However, everyone's going to have to agree not to return to the village. The moment you return to the village, the time skip stops, the in between stop, and now we're going into live roleplay.
Yeah, no village. This is
Yep.
around the Gungnir. This is not to the village.
Now there's some really pretty ruins off to the south of the Gungnir that you guys can visit. There's not going to be anything fantastic there. No wonderful discoveries. Just ruins of the culture that landed on this world, many, 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 many centuries ago.
Oh yeah, see, I wasn't even going as far as ruins. I just thought that he might have seen like an interesting rock outcropping, or even like a pool of water, not a full oasis, but like a pool of water that he was like that he saw from the shuttle when he was heading off to the oasis, and was like, "Hey, we can go there." I didn't even know about the ruins, so that's even better. See?
See?
Yeah, but those were the ruins that Phelan and the professor were at, weren't they?
No.
No, those were several hours away, even by flight, I thought.
Yes.
Because Phelan made it sound like it would take them a while to get there and come back.
Which is why Jaren sent her there.
Yeah, so no, not the same ruins. All right, well, I'm okay doing a 2-week time skip. I'll just peek back and do that in between at some point in the next day or two.
Okay.
Yeah, because everything in the journal is locked up. She's getting ready to head out of her room.
And just heads up on time, the passage of time. Look, just like in movies, if I need stuff to happen slower, I'll slow it down. If I need things to happen quicker, I'll speed it up. And even if it stinks, there's your reasons.
Rule 0.
I have confirmed that Astra took Daza back to her room, back to Astra's room to teach Clouds and Breeze. So that did not happen in common space.
Okay, then nothing happened to bring that back into Duro's memory, so as soon as he's reminded about it, he'll remember, oh yeah, I did want to learn that, but so far nothing has reminded him of it, so then I guess that in between can't. All right.
Yeah, because
Sorry
the
to
only person
cause
that Hadassah told was to Sara, and that was in the last in between.
I haven't fully caught up on everything yet because I was at work. Anyway, sorry to get.
Sorry, I'm lighting my next candle.
I think that's awesome.
I know, right?
Wait. I've got one here too. Hang on.
Is
Mine's
Traveler dabbling in witchcraft?
No.
No.
No. Mine is actually blue chalcedony for to open up and help with the throat chakra, which enables good storytelling and clear communication.
My candle is Yakiris Kan, which has seasonal fragrances and designed to open up the stomach katra because I'm trying to lose weight.
Awesome.
There we go. There's my candle.
What? Sparkling cinnamon, you chuckle fuck.
Seasonal.
Everybody who didn't see that coming, stand on your head.
Right. I didn't think Traveler got into all those kind of candles.
Hey, you never know what I've poured for him.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, are we ready tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna start with Ava back on Backlid. You ready, sweetheart?
Yeah, I'm getting away from Nova's mic.
You're recording, yeah?
Yes, I am.
All right.
2 weeks. That's the last thing I'll say.
I'm ready.
Okay. The psychiatrist will stand up. Empress Forma.
She'll like stare at him and narrow her eyes. What?
I've become accustomed to these sudden, unscheduled visits.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Shall we get started?
Walk in, sit down.
He'll sit down.
She survived. Nova survived being turned force sensitive. Well, part of me is happy. The other part is, well, crap. Now she's going to want to have that picnic with the kids. Well, I did explain to the kids she's alive. What if she wants more than just a picnic with the kids? What if she wants to be in a public eye again? And there's Graf. What if they start fighting like cats and dogs? Well, he cares about war, and I don't think he would care about much what I do as long as it doesn't entangle with him. There's still that. Well, I'm hoping she'll understand there's a side that's worried that she might freak out because her deception with me.
Well, you did successfully complete your mission.
She did, which proves her loyalties.
Have that.
I do have that. Just her reaction I'm worried about.
Well, I mean, you did have her sent to a prison for several months, then set loose against your enemies, wearing somebody else's face. And all the time she was in prison, you had her state funeral, a very public and expensive wedding.
Well, I saw an opportunity and I had to take it.
Of course.
Oh, hey on. Zushi's calling for me.
You can wait. Boop, boop, boo, doo, doo, doo. It's your hold music. Da, 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 da. La, da, 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 da.
Okay, that was on it. I'm
Okay.
back.
But don't quit your day job.
I know, right? Where was we?
Well, you are concerned about the successful completion of your mission and performing an amazing feat. You've manipulated the force to give somebody who was not born sensitive the ability to be sensitive.
Yes, because the objective to that is to give somebody that lost their ability back their ability to have them favor to my side.
I mean, Nova has accomplished a great many wonderful things for you.
She has. I'm just slightly worried about her reception. Well, yes, I believe that she will come back at my side, and I hope and will understand why I did and what I did, like marrying Graf. There's a part of me that worries. What if she doesn't understand?
Well, why wouldn't she?
Because she might see it as an act of betrayal.
You had her buried while she was sitting in prison.
Well, I couldn't come up with a reason why my beloved was gone and the public was already deeming her dead.
And then you got married while you had her sitting in prison.
An opportunity I couldn't hesitate on. Because I needed Graf's fleet, and I needed Graf.
And let me ask you this question. You've now created a force sensitive. Does she come
Yes.
home as Rain Roke?
No.
No. Why?
Ray Roke is dead. How would it look if suddenly Ray Roke is alive? I would believe look like a liar to the public. I would be look like a monster. I can't have that happening.
So what will you do?
Have her make a new identity for herself, of course.
course. Just have her create an entirely new existence.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's not that hard to do.
I'm sure it's not.
I had to do it when I first got here,
Did you?
in a way.
See. And how goes your campaign against the parasites?
Good. I actually captured one. Hopefully this one will be more willing than the others.
Well, there is always hope. But how
There
do
is.
you feel now that you have successfully captured the last of them? I know that from last encounters that this was affecting you. It was bothering you that you couldn't find this last one. You've accomplished it. How do you feel?
Well, out of care doesn't even know that there's one more. Okay. Unfortunately, this is not the last one. So, what I feel annoyed that these things keep popping up, especially since I have no agency over them. Or they're unwilling to work with me.
Well, Empress, I hope you'll forgive me for being so blunt, but there will always be another one. You cannot wipe out all the existence of those who oppose you.
It's a parasite. And, well, I might not be able to. But it doesn't mean I can't try. Why can't I wipe out all those that oppose me?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Why can't I wipe out all those who oppose me?
You don't feel that that's wrong. You have plans to take on Sereno. You have plans to take on the Jedi, the Republic.
Sereno, who's already on this planet, mucking me and dragging my name through the mud. The Jedi, who's constantly been a thorn at my side and is very reckless, but they're hunters.
See.
I mean, haven't you heard the reports of their squats? What they do? How they get away with it?
What about the hundreds of hunters that don't walk the line, that really do good things for the civilizations and communities that they police?
Well, if they're willing to walk away from their academy and avoid their current paths and join my side, then I don't have an issue with it. As long as they're loyal. If they become an issue, then they're a part of the problem.
Is rain part of the problem?
No.
Yet you have anxiety over her return.
I haven't seen her for years. And I've done some things I'm not sure she's gonna be happy about.
You think she'll disapprove?
I think she'll disapprove. Like the marriage with Graf.
And how is your marriage with Graf?
It's okay. He's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing. And
And
as long as we keep our hands out of each other's things, we're good.
I notice reading in the news that the Dead Hand Fleet carried out a very important operation in Europa.
They did.
Doesn't sound like he's keeping his hands out of your affairs.
Oh, that because I can command them. Oh, through him.
I see. Have you ever thought, Empress, that maybe your ascension to power might be a little quick? That maybe you're missing important lessons along the way?
Oh, so now you know about everything to do with ascending to power now, do we?
Well, the pressures of leadership and ruling can come on suddenly.
Are you implying something?
I'm only posing a question, Empress. The men you sent to my house last month delivered your message very clearly. I'm only posing a question.
That if I think I'm moving too quickly.
Self reflection is important. It's something that the Jedi teach regularly to all of their young knights. That by reflecting on who you are and where you come from, and more importantly, where you're going, it could help you grow.
Oh, now I'm a Jedi, am I?
Just saying that the philosophy may be beneficial to you.
Now you're a Jedi?
No, ma'am.
Well, if I'm not a Jedi, you're not a Jedi. Why would I follow the Jedi philosophies?
I mean, there are some good things to any um belief structure.
But why that one in particular?
Just the one that happened to come to mind.
Mm, I see. Well, I don't believe in the Jedi philosophies. And if you know what's best for you, I would suggest never bringing up the issue of the Jedi or their philosophies to me ever again.
As you wish, Empress. Was there anything else you wish to talk about?
No. You run a moment.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Only observing how stress was affecting you in a way that you could manage it healthily.
The way that you session it reminded me how expendable you can be.
Good.
And she'll get up and she'll walk out.
Okay.
She debates in her head whether she was a kill this dude over that shit.
So we'll fast forward a day, and it is the Imperial Palace on Baklid, and you are standing there. Well, first let me ask: is this a private reception or a public reception, Ava?
Private.
So you're standing there. It's just you and your personal bodyguards and uh, the ground crew team, and the shuttle comes in and spins around and goes ahead and lands, and the back door opens up, and the people start to depart, and in near the middle of the group, you see Nova.
She'll approach and then give her a hug and a kiss. Welcome home.
I am as my new self, right?
Not yet.
Okay, so then I'm still. Am myself. I am. Am I Rain or am I Fang Min Do
You're
right now?
Fong Min Do.
Okay. She will hug back and say, I'm glad to be back, and kiss her.
How did everything go?
It went well. Your ghost gave me a run for my money, but that's fine.
Glad to hear it. They're supposed to be doing that.
Yeah, they're doing very well. Camps are finicky and crazy, but that's fine.
And I heard there was a little complications with the serum. The gifts that I gave her. You.
Well, it was first shot down out of the sky near the village before I had to rescue it and get the parasite. But it was painful when I took it. I now know what Tassara and Duro feel like when they're surrounded by death.
What do you mean?
Well, I can feel the force now. So I can feel it screaming out in pain that people are dying.
Does it do that all the time?
If I focus on it, maybe.
No wonder Jedi are crazy. Force is literally screaming at them all the time.
So, what's the plan, my lovely?
Well, a lot of things have happened while you're gone.
Yes, my death, apparently, and uh, your wedding, which
Come, let's get somewhere more private for this conversation.
uh-huh.
I shall lead her into the palace and escort her to her private study.
So why crap? She says as she goes and sits down.
I need at his fleet, and Graf himself makes an excellent tool.
Yes, but he's
I
also
know,
insane.
yes, but he also has control of the Dead Hand fleet and thousands of other ships. Ships that I needed. Ships that I can use to fight for me instead of against me.
Well, now you have him. So what are you gonna do with him?
And keep him until he's no longer a tool.
When would that be?
Mm, well, right now he's useful, so I gather whenever his usefulness is no longer useful.
So more getting his DNA then.
No, no, I already required what I needed from that.
Yeah,
And
to
it
turn me
was
force sensitive.
a success. Therefore, the last sample should be access for who I'm intending it to give it to next.
Well, they better have very good will and stuff like that because it hurts like a bugger. I tried not to fall asleep and pass out.
Hmm. But we'll see if we can do any modifications on it from those results.
Or wait until they are strong enough to.
She seems pretty strong-willed.
And before they die to your experiments in a tense. Well, I don't really know who it is, but I'm just guessing.
Those would have been children, so at least now I know I can't use it on children. had it tested on the baby first, just to make sure it didn't.
It didn't kill me.
Yes.
Judging by how Miss Pound was reacting, seemed I was more successful than the baby.
Oh, there was always a chance that it might kill you. Always a chance that it might not kill you. I am happy, though, that it did not kill you.
I am happy too, because I get to see your lovely face again.
Now you get to see yours, even though it's behind an enemy's face.
Mm. Well, I got told I'm not coming back as Rain. So,
Yeah. Well, you are dead to the public.
yeah. That I
You
am.
can't do that. Well, the Republic reported it after you disappeared, so I decided to go with it and blame Astra for it. That seen it as an opportunity to taint the Zealots and Sereno.
You really don't want her to become queen, don't you?
There's always a chance that she might try.
It's fine. She comes knocking for it. You have forces and my abilities to use,
And her child. Let's not
and
forget
her
that.
child. Her child's always a good tool. Where is
Yeah.
my son? Does he even know I'm here?
They know that you're here.
Mm.
They know that you're still alive. But I wouldn't recommend going to see them as you currently are.
No, I need a new face before I can walk around anyway.
Yes.
Currently, getting ready to be executed.
Yes. Let's go fix that.
To get me a brand new face and everything.
Yes.
I think I know who I'm going to be.
There.
Hmm,
Oh?
won't
Who?
work with me. Remember Jade? I'm thinking of being her.
My old crush? Why do you want to be my old crush?
Why not? She seemed pretty.
If that's the face you want to take.
I might add some modifications. Probably
That's fine.
brighten the hair, brighten the eyes, maybe. I gotta think of a name. I might go as Renka.
Rinka. That sounds pretty.
Yeah. I think I read it somewhere in one of the books that got destroyed. It's like the last book, I think. Our universe books. That it means hand in another language, so it works.
Well, it's definitely suiting for you since you are now a hand.
Hmm.
You definitely passed the test. I set up
And
for
I
you.
s- and I survived. So
And you survived.
when do you want to plan the picnic? Since you do owe me.
Um, we could do it tomorrow.
That is
After all,
fine
you
with me.
probably need rest after the surgery that you're going to be going through.
Definitely.
Did
I
you have
barely
any?
got
Sorry, go ahead.
I barely got rest the last time I had surgery. So
Did you have any other questions?
not as of right now, but I'll ask you later if there is any.
Other than why graph again?
You answered those questions.
I don't love the man.
You're just putting up with him.
Yes. I
Well,
mean,
that's
he's not
good.
even a man.
He's a robot.
Exactly.
Robot with kind of feelings and loves to do stuff. I don't know. He likes to go around, I guess.
He loves the war.
Which is why he's not here.
Exactly.
But I'm gonna go change and go rest.
All right.
And probably after our little picnic, I'm probably gonna go train with my force tutor.
I heard she's very good.
Hmm.
She did train our son
Well, that's good.
and Raza.
Nova has nothing else to talk about.
Okay.
All right. We'll go ahead and fast forward a couple of days, and we'll go with Nova in training. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. So Shakti is moving you through the motions with your lightsaber. Well, training saber. It's more of a elongated stick. And she's going through the basics of, slow motion moving 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're going through the motions of following her, and she's getting you trained up to where the motions are supposed to be.
Okay.
Moving your lightsaber is more than just following the patterns. As a Force sensitive, you have to be able to feel the flow of the Force around you. When you are in a perfect state of mind and you're balanced, you can sense where the strike will come next, and you'll know how to position your lightsaber accordingly.
Dodge and parry or guard.
And you'll move and try and dodge and parry, and you'll fail horribly. It's you're fighting it, trying to control it. And yes, you can control it. But you have to move in such a way that not move. You have to feel the force.
Fine, I'll try that. And she will attempt to feel the force and anticipate attack.
Wait a second. You're still not doing it right. Here, she'll sight and she'll move behind you. Feel the flow of force around you as it moves here through your body. It passes through the different pools of energy within you. Stand by. Sorry about that. Feel it here, she says, touching your temples. Close your eyes. Feel. Tell me what you sense.
What do I sense anyway?
Hold on a second. I mean, it's hard to explain what you sense. This is the first time. So you wouldn't be wrong in saying you feel, that you feel different, that you feel uncomfortable.
These are weird and uncomfortable feelings. I can't focus. It's just so uncomfortable.
I understand. But it's important that you find calm inside you. You see here, and she'll touch, your lower back. Here you'll find your earth, the root of your power, your strength. You have to learn to feel the force flowing up through you. And she'll move her hands around from the base of your tailbone to your lower stomach. Here's your water. This is where the flow of your energies will start to build. It can be turbulent. It's also where everything that you say this, it can be everything that your body needs for healing. And she'll move up to your chest. Here's your furnace. This is where your rage and emotions are powered. And her hand will move over to your heart. So close to the heart. Which is why you must be careful not to let this area become clouded or erupted. And she'll put her hands around your throat. Here, your wind. You must learn to use it. You must learn to breathe in and out fluidly through every space, through every action. Remember, without the wind, nothing moves. Which brings us to here. She touches the temples of your head. Here's where you form yourself in the space around you. Do you understand?
A little bit now that you explained, but what's the corruption, the part? What would corrupt?
Corruption is not what many people believe it. Darkness does not corrupt the Force user. Darkness and light go hand in hand. However, only the Jedi are foolish enough to believe that the eradication of darkness brings true balance. Here, she touches your chest again and your throat. Here is the source of your power and strength. Every element of the Force has its elemental nature.
And I have to figure out how to harness them all?
Well, let's first begin with harnessing your earth, your connection to the very basics of the Force. And she'll touch she'll touch your tailbone again and your lower abdomen. I want you to draw in the Force here. As hard as you can. Reach out and draw. Give me a standby.
Gives me long enough to log into Roll20.
And when you're ready.
I am.
Okay. Give me a con check, please.
That's horrible too.
It's a horrible 2. You don't feel
Yeah.
nothing. You're not focusing. You must learn to let go of connection, the physical world around you. You must learn to feel force.
Okay, I'll try.
Try and now feel the force around you. And it will force it hitting.
You want another con check?
Yes.
That's a 5.
You must push your harder.
Hey, that's a 13.
That's much better. You feel it now. And you can. You can feel the force starting to build around you. It's surging. Force its touch. Force its flow into your muscles.
And she will do that.
And you can feel as you're pulling it. Now, you can also sense that she's helping you, but you can feel as you're pulling it inward through your abdomen and up into your muscles, and it's charging your muscles. You can feel stronger. Now, your earth has been moved. It has been strengthened. And that is what a Jedi must do. Feel the force around you. Bend it to your will.
Would meditation help?
A meditation. Are you learning how to be touchy-feely like the Jedi? To be pretenders that you are something that you're not?
No, I just have practiced meditation from Duro Theltanus, so.
I've heard a lot of the pretender.
Mm.
No. You can use focus and meditate, but this has nothing to do with using the force. It has everything to do with calming yourself, which is good. Want to calm, but the force must bend to your will.
Then I must keep training to break the cycle that Duros put me in.
Yes. Now, let's go through the motions again with your renewed strength, with your now your earth has been freed from its said cycle, bad teaching. She'll move in front of you.
Anyway,
Now, come at me. Go through the motions as I taught you. Now, when you give me your melee combat roll, add a +2.
Mm, okay. So, yeah, I have to do it that way. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. That's 16.
Okay. You 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 can feel the force helping you. You've bent it to your will, and it's you know feel strength in your arms as you come after her, and easily parries your attack and sends you flying back onto your tail, and it hurts. And her counter strike as you went backwards, smarting, felt it, felt the force made you stronger. And you also hear a pair of female voices laughing.
She'll tilt her head and glance that direction.
Moment. Actually, give me a charisma check.
Charisma check.
Yeah.
11.
Or there's a brief moment you absolutely felt fear because the two people you're looking at is Senya, Seer, dressed in uniforms you know to be dead hand. Senya's carrying a box, so is Lasir. And they're both kind of laughing. And Senya says, "So, you finally joined our side," he says with a smile.
That I did, apparently.
And Senya
Attempting it.
and Lasir cheerfully kind of walks over to you and offers you a hand.
She'll take it.
And she'll help you up. And once you're back on your feet, she'll open up the box and says, "Well, we do have cookies," he says with a smile, and offers you the box.
She giggles and takes the box. Cookies.
And the woman walks over and or Senya walks over to Shakti. As instructed, we have fabricated what you asked for. Hang on a second.
Do you need me to get the picture?
No, I got it.
Okay.
And Shakti opens the box and goes ahead and walks over to you. Based off of what I know of your fighting styles, I believe these will serve you very well. She shows you a pair of lightsabers. I have been instructed to teach you how to use.
She reaches out to touch them and then pick them
Well,
up.
no. As you reach out, she slams the box closed on
Oh,
you.
yeah.
When you are proficient, we'll use these.
Damn it.
And she'll reach into her pocket and pull out a pair of kyber crystals. These were stolen off of Jedi. You will learn to. But for now, and she'll put the crystals back in her pocket, reach out with her hand, and your wooden saber will whip to her hand from the ground, and then she'll present it back. For now, your weapon.
Well, I learned how to do that soon.
Again, and she hands the box back to Senya. And Senya's like, care if I watch? Shakti's like, no, I don't care. And truthfully, your form is atrocious and could use some perfection.
She's just giggling. Yeah, Ash.
Okay.
Come on, Senya. Practice with me.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up there. Oh, come on. Hold on, wait. I want to see what he's going to say. I have to. Sorry, I have. All right. So while this is happening, Ava, ready?
Yes.
All right. You are being, you have been, sorry, I'm beginning this wrong. You have traveled to the ranch, and you are being brought into one of the most secured facilities in the ranch, and um the men that are guarding this are some of your most loyal.
She'll walk in.
And there is your prisoner. She has a collar around her neck. There are two there are two battle droids either corner with their weapons trained on her, and your personal guards walk in.
Oh, she'll walk in. Hello.
Ava, she says, most surprised. You're
That I am.
Frowns. But you're Duro's friend. Would you do this?
Exactly what have I done?
Committing genocide on my people. Hundreds of them are dead because of you. Hey,
Are you talking about the children?
he looks at you. You know what I'm talking.
The ones that join the ranks in my academy. Or I should say in my school. The ones I pay to join my school, and then their families turn around and exile them and claim that they're dead. Those.
No. You can pretend your dark little secret inside these walls, but I see into your heart. I know the monster lurks.
Oh, you're meaning what I've been doing to the parasites.
We have been living here millennia, helping.
Helping. Is that what you call over at Ricci? Helping.
Browns. Ricci mistake, but we did not endorse that. We cannot endorse this.
The only reason why the pathogenocide occur is because none of your species is willing to work with me. We actually want the same goals. The one over at Rishi, seemed to want to get rid of all force users' powers.
We don't want. Never did.
Exactly what do you want?
What do we want? To live
Yes.
in peace.
Not very peaceful when you're turning words against me that I haven't done.
Massacred millions in your quest for destruction. Power. You sure?
I'm sure. I did what was necessary for peace.
You can stop this madness. Can. It's not too late.
If I surrender and give up, then this planet will be overrun by the Europans, and then there will be no peace. everybody would get kicked off their homes. I don't understand why everybody can't share it and follow the simple rules of law.
Your law.
My laws will bring peace and order, where your laws and the Delphinians' laws will only cause further destruction.
What do you mean to do with me?
That depends on you.
He looks confused.
I mean, exactly how are you connected with the post?
We share everything.
You're connected? Like, if she dies, you die, or you die, she dies?
While I may be the youngest of my people, hundreds of thousands handed down from one host to another. Never by force, only accepted by a trusted friend. Atrill was the only one who, or
And do you have a name? And what is your name?
Atticus.
Sorry, what was that?
Atticus.
Can you put that in the
Doing it right
like
now.
Maricus? You didn't answer my question though. I mean, you told me that you lived for thousands of years being put into hosts, but you didn't tell me if you're separated or killed, if you and your host would survive.
Because I know what you'll do with this.
Exactly what I will do with this knowledge.
You can stand by.
Okay.
You can stop this mess.
By doing what?
Stopping this genocide.
I only wiped out those who opposed me.
For those who refuse to serve you.
Those would be the ones that opposed me. I mean, take a look at the Church of the Forest. They were corrupted.
So you had them massacred.
Yes. What else would I have done with them? An organization easily corrupted if you throw money at them. Or
What
put
will,
a girl in their bedroom.
what will you
That, again, that depends on you.
we will not serve you.
I'm not asking you to serve me. I'm asking you to work with me.
If it's any
There's a difference.
different,
Yes. Because you'll still have your free will as long as you're within.
doing what doing what you tell us to do. We'll have our free will serve you.
Well, when you put it like that, I suppose you're right. Where did you come from?
Place long
Exactly how are you connected to the Force?
different than anybody else.
Yes, I know the whole speech, everybody's connected to the Force. I'm not being cute. I'm trying to figure out how are you Force sensitive.
No, you're trying to figure out how best to protect and have other brothers.
Again, that is up to you. Just like it was up to them. They made their choice.
Do as you say, or your scientists unlock.
Well, your kind exactly wasn't really talkative about that either. I don't know why.
Because we will not serve darkness.
Yet you create it. Just like at Richie. And just like what you've been doing with the believers of the church. Your hands are just as tainted as mine.
No.
Yes.
And I believe nothing else. All that Empress. And she'll move closer and the droids will react. She'll stop. She'll look you in the eyes. All that you have painstakingly taken away from you will be laid to someone far worse.
Oh, and who would this be?
Nothing.
Well, if I'm already going to be laid to West, as you say, I want her to at least know who exactly is coming for me and what it's. Hello?
Sorry, I missed that. Okay.
I said, well, if your so-called whatever it is that you're trying to do is going to come true, it wouldn't hurt to know this fictitious person that's going to come after me now, would it?
Danzo.
It-
Smile on her.
That's what I thought. Another scare tactic. I should have turned and walk out.
All right. We'll pause there, and I'll do a brief intermission before I transition back to the heroes party, so you guys can do what you will.
I'm kind of surprised Ava didn't torture her for the information. Or is that too
She's-
on the nose?
She's done that in the past with other creatures right away. And she's gotten nowhere with it. So this time she tried to be more civilized and tried talking to one that's actually in a body. Again, getting nowhere.
All the tools at her disposal, and there's no sodium pentothal?
It could hurt the creature.
Yeah, I don't know if there is. And she doesn't really care about hurting the creature. I mean,
Veritas
the-
serum, nothing?
I don't. Is there any serum that she can use on these things?
They're highly resistant, that kind of.
There you go. She would know that.
All these damn space wizards, not a single one of them has figured out how to work Veritas serum. God.
And there's the Slytherin.
Not a Slytherin.
Maybe what Ava needs is to have Hodge come back and work for her and extract the
I
information.
know, right? I just sounds like she's like signing herself up for this. Like she's like that little person in the background going, me, I want to do it.
Totally out of character. Channeling past realities. There's
I-
nothing to do with my character.
My question is, what would
Uh-huh.
Duro think when he finds out Hodge tortured his sister to death to extract information?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. Duro hasn't unmuted yet.
Oh.
Sorry, I was only half paying attention. Something about Hodge torturing sisters to death.
Oh, please. Don't give me that crap, Mr. Half Paying Attention. You jumped all over that gif in like no time.
And that was how many minutes ago? Now I was only half paying attention.
Okay.
No, honestly, I was looking at stuff to see if there was any credible way that a lightsaber tonfa could feasibly work.
All I gotta say is they exist in canon, and supposedly they're supposed to be pretty good.
No, they
I was
exist
look-
in legends. They do not exist in canon.
Well, I mean, at one point in time, Legends was canon.
That is true, but even then, I thought they were ridiculous.
There's a lot of shit in Legends and canon I think is ridiculous, but oh well, they love me.
It's funny as it finally clicked in my head about these parasites. Going, oh hey, I know where these come from, Stargate, with the whole host thing.
Actually, that's not where they come from. There was a movie a long time ago about parasites that stuck to the back of people and took them over, and they were faced with this massive invasion, and only to find out that these parasites, when they're attached, they inadvertently raise the body temperature. So using a pair of thermal goggles, you could identify what they were. That's where I got this idea from.
What's the name of that movie, Mike?
Couldn't fucking tell you.
So they're not from the Gula.
Nope. Nor are they from Star Trek. And Atrill's name was a random generated name, so it's just that wasn't from Star Trek either.
Yes, but you should recall I made a reference to the Trill when Duro was in the village and the symbiote was first introduced.
Yeah, and you were wrong then, just as likely y'all are wrong now, because that one goes inside the body. This is outside the body.
Well, you know,
Potato.
right?
I know, like
Hakuna
Tonfa
Matata?
and Sword.
Hakuna
And so it's
Matata?
outside the body, so it's kind of like the parasite that was on the chicken Doctor Who.
Oh yeah, turn left. You have something on your back.
Oh, I didn't mean that chick. I meant the chick that had the sweetie, Mr. Sweets on her.
Oh, that one. Yeah, yeah. That one. The Crimson Horror.
So my question is, general acting aside, what did you guys think of today of the scenes from Bachland? I know there's been a little grumbling that Ava and Nova are not getting playtime, so I wanted to give them playtime today. So what did y'all think?
I think if Shakti isn't a gray Jedi, I'll eat my computer.
Better get confident. She doesn't sound like a. Well, I mean, Traveler flat out said there are no gray Jedi in his universe, and frankly, there are no gray Jedi in the canon universe either. But that aside, Shakti, to me, from what I heard of her teaching, sounds more like a dark Jedi than a Jedi Jedi.
What's the difference between a dark Jedi and a Sith?
Okay, so a Sith actually has a belief. A Sith would be your Catholic, okay? Where a dark Jedi would be a Mormon. Very similar belief structure. However, how they go about their rituals and traditions are totally different. Where Jedi would be your Baptist or Protestant, other Protestant.
So who wears the sacred underwear?
Well, that'd be my nephew and his wife, but they're like creepy nice.
Okay, so the
I'm
the
a-
way I see it, and the way I've always and internalized it myself is a dark Jedi started out as a Jedi and through one way or another fell to the dark side. They still cling to some of their Jedi beliefs, but they have been corrupted by the dark side and are kind of addicted to that power. Whereas the Sith have their own set of teachings distinct from the Jedi, and a Sith Lord will be wholly bought into these Sith teachings. Even if they used to be a Jedi like Anakin, they are now 110% on these Sith teachings and following this Sith philosophy. Whereas a Jedi that has simply fallen to the dark side, more like your Count Dooku, you know, that's a dark Jedi. The stuff Shakti was spouting was dark Jedi. Sith like teachings that call on the dark side, but they're not going around reciting the Sith Creed or following the Rule of Two.
Gotcha.
And he's not wrong. That is an excellent in-universe explanation. The difference between a Jedi, a dark Jedi, and a Sith.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
So Dura, what did you think? Because one that said you don't see enough of what's going on Baklit.
I mean, it was all very interesting. I know the Heroes Party is out doing very important work in the unknown regions, but it does kind of make me wonder what they are going to come back to. We saved the universe from Melora, but at what cost? Now the galaxy has fallen to the dark side.
To a unified battle front ready to take on the swarm because Ava will pull a magician out of her hat. Do that.
But if the swarm has already been defeated, if Melora is defeated by the time we get back, then now we have, the Sith Queen on one side, if that hasn't been defeated yet, and Ava on the other.
It's the same picture.
Yeah.
Okay, the Sith Queen wants the entire galaxy. Ava just wants this itty bitty little space in the galaxy. Big difference.
Now, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest to see Ava get in bed with the Sith Queen.
Ava does not want the Sith Queen, nor does she want the entire galaxy. She just wants her little slice of heaven and be left alone by anybody that wants to take it away from her.
Heaven for her and her elites, maybe.
My question is why I felt fear when looking at Zinnia and Lyseer.
Because the last time you ever had a run-in with them, Senya swore she was going to kill you.
I'm guessing then by her reaction that she doesn't actually know who that is.
That was never asked.
Senya is not stupid. I'd like to think Senya is not stupid.
Well, there's also Lyseer in this picture, and we know what's inside Lyseer. So, well, we think we know anyway. What does? Oh my, sorry. What does Lyseer look like right now? That's an observational question that wasn't actually sort of addressed.
She looks a little older than she was before, and just as withered.
what's inside Lyseer. So for those of us in the uninitiated category,
I'm not
Parasite.
answering that.
You don't want to know.
What's
Trust me,
inside
you don't want to
Lysair
know.
is not a parasite. It's much worse than a parasite.
It's pure evil.
Knowing what we know now, my guess is that it's actually a part of Melora somehow. But I might be wrong.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Well, it was supposed to be a part of the mother. So, is the mother actually Melora?
It would seem like it.
Although I would like to know what getting rid of Melora actually means getting rid of the swarm. I mean, kill one and you kill the other. It doesn't seem like it'd be that easy. Nothing
Well,
is ever
that's it.
that easy.
Melora is the swarm, as far as the heroes party has been able to determine. So yes, if you get rid of Melora, you get rid of the swarm. They are one and the same.
They come back and see that the swarm's still there.
I was going to say that's not necessarily true, because if you get rid of the swarm, you don't necessarily kill Melora.
Okay, yes, but you can make someone a vegetable, but if you kill their brain, then they are still dead. You can disable the body without killing the person, but if you kill the person, will you disable the body too?
Touche.
So, what is the heroes party going to be up to tonight, or are we just calling it for the night right now?
I just wanted to make sure that we got through that conversation. I know that those scenes were really important to you and other people, so I wanted to make that if you guys had any questions or anything, then answer them. That being said, go ahead.
Wait. I do actually have a question. It's something you said at the very beginning of Franka's training struck me. How she said she hears death all around her if she doesn't tune it out. It's almost like she has to actively not engage that part of it to hear all of the suffering that's going on around her. But based on what's going on with the heroes party and my own player character with Hadaza and coming into that and waking up with it, she didn't get any of that. Like what's that all about?
Rule number 1 with Nova, she's a liar.
Right then.
Oh, so you like the Ava?
Apparently.
So,
I mean, Ava lies to everyone else, so
Yeah, that's true.
One person she hasn't lied to yet was Nova.
yet being the key. Well, I mean, I
Yes!
argue that. I
There's some
argue
gray area in there.
that. Right?
I'm kind of curious of Kitty's reaction when when Ava dropped the bomb that I just blamed Astra for your murder.
All I have to say is the next game, I'm not trusting Ava or Nova's character. Or Ava, yeah. Jess or Nova's
We're
character.
siblings, and that would be meta. Meta, and we're siblings. That's all I gotta say. Since the next game's
Yeah. The bigger bomb was using the child as blackmail.
Again, all player knowledge.
Yeah. Well, I've known about the I have known about the blackmail with Raza for several months now.
But only as a player. You didn't know that as a character, did you?
No, and I still don't know it as a character. Astra has no fucking clue, which makes this all the more worse. Hence why I, as the player, am never ever trusting one of Ava or Nova's characters again.
Wow. So we're gonna be siblings, and you're like, screw you. And next thing you know, my character dies because you're like, screw you.
It's a good thing Astra. It's a
There's
good thing
difference
Astra never got to
between-
know Eshe.
No, right?
Lord,
There's
oh
a
my God.
difference between not trusting your siblings and not loving them.
So
I
you're
don't
going to.
trust my siblings as far as I could throw them.
So
But
you're
I
gonna
still love them.
go into the next game with no love for your poor sister. Oh,
said
remember that when your sister disappears.
All right. Let's move on. So the Heroes Party has departed Origin and is spending the how long was it down the
It was almost 3
weeks.
weeks to get from Warcanals to Origin.
Okay. So it's 2 weeks into the 3-week journey. Enduro, you are who do you do your meditations with? Your normal you're like just not teaching meditation, but just your general meditation.
Honestly, it depends, and that's how I've played it from the beginning. He's content to meditate alone, but if someone wants to join him, he's always welcoming.
Okay. So we'll say that in this particular situation, it's you and Fury.
Okay.
And just for a reference sake, it has literally been 4 weeks since the conversation about training Fury.
Right.
Hang on a second. Give me 1 second. I need to make sure I update this. So you're sitting there meditating with her. You can sense her unease, her lack of is bothering her.
Is Duro mid meditation, or does he just notice it while he's not in a meditative state?
He's mid meditation, but sense her.
Well, knowing how these states work, it's something that will have to be addressed when he is not actively meditating.
He talked to his Padawan.
Well, that can wait until after the meditative session. I have never been in a meditative like class or group where you stop mid meditation to discuss your fifis.
Okay. All right. So you go through and you complete your meditation. It's like I said, it's noticeable, and you finally finish your meditative state.
Right. So when everything's done and they're packing up their tea or whatever other focus aids they had, he would ask, "So, how did that session go for you?"
Good master, he says, not really being
And yet I sense something troubling you.
frowns. I was just wondering.
What were you wondering about?
Well, pauses. Fuzzy tail. Well, I mean, you know.
Alangidi?
Sometimes she talks. She seems more than she is.
Does she still talk to you?
No, but I sense her presence.
Well, you heard her when we first met her. She was created by the same being that we communicated with in the storm. A being I told you is ancient and incredibly powerful. So powerful that I cannot fully comprehend it, nor could I explain it to you. And as she said, her mistress was able to listen through her and speak through her if necessary.
Do you think we'll ever see her again?
He'll give a half smile and say, "She did promise to keep an eye on us."
Fuzzytail did. When?
Well, right before she disappeared, when she and I were on the bridge after leaving the galley.
Wait, what do you mean disappeared? I just thought she left.
Yes, from a certain point of view.
I'm gonna hear that saying a lot, aren't I?
All the best Jedi Masters use it.
Frowns. So, why was everyone so, I don't know, anxious when she was?
Because, like her mistress, she is powerful in many ways that make others uncomfortable.
Like Hodge?
Like Hodge, like Tassara, even myself to an extent. And he would lean in and whisper as if sharing a secret, "I'm just better at hiding it."
Am I gonna be powerful like you? And Tassara?
I believe so.
Hope so.
Stick with your training, trust in the Force, and you will grow up to be a fine Jedi. Strong and wise, I have no doubt.
Will you tell me why I was so important?
Out of character, sorry, what was that?
Will you tell me why I was so important? Fuzzytail told me when we were talking. Yes, did something. I explain it, Master. Almost ashamed. I saw her wave her hand in the. I'm foolish.
Well, there's only one way to know that for sure.
There was eggs boiling on the stove. I watched her prep them. Put them in. I really honestly did. Then when she sat down and waved her hand, the steam stopped.
Like I said, she is a very powerful being.
Talked. Said that I was very special. That you and the others were trying to protect me. She laughed and said it was foolish. She meant me no harm. She spoke my language of my people.
Yes, I have a feeling that she can speak any language that she needs to speak. As I said, her mistress is very ancient and very powerful. I'm sure if she needs to, she can speak to anyone in whatever language they understand.
She asked me if I was going to Jedi like you. He knew about the Jedi, things that you told me.
And what did she tell you about the Jedi?
Were far more ancient, and that long before there was stars, how my people. She went to many different worlds to gather up Force users, bring them to a place to train them to be heroes. You are to understand the difference between light and dark.
Yes, she showed me some of that when I communicated in the storm.
And told me that she had made a mistake. There was no balance between the dark and the light. None that possess.
Well, she is right, again, from a certain point of view.
That said that I should listen and learn from you. You were meant.
Well, I am here, so I do agree. This is where I am meant to be. And you were brought to me as well. It's not something I controlled, anticipated, or tried to make happen. And so I believe that your being here was the will of the Force.
Said that too. That originally you were meant to train somebody else, but that gone.
Duro will sigh. I believe I know what she was referring to, but it would take a long time to try to explain it, and to be honest, I'm not sure you would understand. All I can say is to continue your training, to trust in the Force, and when the time is right, you will know and you will understand.
You know. Will you?
Suffice to say that suffice to say that you are special. You have a gift to be able to listen to the force that connects all of the universe together. And you can hone that gift, train it, and in doing so, you will have the tools to serve the balance, to serve the greater good, to be a hero, as you have said you want to do.
But if me being a hero takes away from who we're supposed to train, I want that. Not right.
No, but I don't think I could train the person that I was originally meant to train. Remember what I've said about the future always being in motion, that nothing is set. It's the same idea. There may have been someone that I was supposed to train, but people made choices, they did things, and that changed the outcome of future events. The future is always in motion, and now that path has been closed off to us. We are now walking this one, where you are the one that I am supposed to train. Which is why the Force brought us together.
Why do I feel like I'm being selfish?
That's self-doubt. Every Jedi has to struggle with that. We always feel that we are making a mistake, that we don't know what we're doing, that we are on the edge or on the verge of messing things up. And as long as we let that fear control us, we will be paralyzed and be unable to do anything.
But you and Tassara don't ever feel this.
Oh, believe me, I do. I feel a lot of self-doubt, second guess many of my decisions. But the trick of a fully trained Jedi is to let go of that fear, of that self-doubt, to trust in your training and in the will of the Force that all will be as it should be. Do we make mistakes? Yes. And we roll with the consequences, but we cannot become paralyzed by trying to see down every path to ensure that we always make the right decision. It's impossible. Sometimes we must act and trust that we are acting in accordance with the will of the Force. We cannot be plagued or paralyzed by self-doubt or fear.
Okay. Promise me that me asking you to train me what drove this person away from you. Be that maybe if I never asked you, maybe if I asked you not to, that this person will your training also. I can wait.
This wasn't your fault. This again was a consequence of someone else's actions, someone else making decisions. Every living being makes decisions, takes actions, and those actions have consequences. Like when you drop a rock in a body of water, it makes ripples, and those ripples spread across the surface and interact with other objects in the pool or with each other and cause all sorts of reactions on the surface. Every being making a decision is like dropping another rock in that pool. All of our decisions, our actions interact with, collide with, flow with one another. Someone else's decisions changed things to where we are now. The path that she told you could have been is closed. This is the path we are on. And I'll let you in on a little secret. There are infinite possibilities of what could have been. But the only thing important is what is right now.
Have one more question. Sorry if I seem obnoxious.
Not at all. Every Jedi learns these things.
She asked to see my hand. She said that it was an ancient trick. Those did things long before we could fly in space. I recognized what she was doing. Mother did the same thing. She smiled, looked at long, long lifeline that I would be surrounded by friends. I would find someone I could truly love. Crowned children that wasn't going to make me sad, and I guess it doesn't make me sad now because I failed and I really didn't think about that. She said something very interesting. She said that I'm letting go of you. I want you to know, Master, my power. Remember you. Proud of me. Not centered. I know that I'm not special like Sar, Astra, and Hud. And I remember, and she kind of nods, and I remember that you said that I would one day lose my connection to the Force, and sad about that. I won't let you promise me. I won't. I will always do the very best. Proud of me. Worthy to be a student. Promise.
He will put his hand on her shoulder and say, I know that you will make me proud of you, for lack of a better term, but every Jedi struggles with attachments, especially to those who trained them, raised them if they started as children. I was taken to the Jedi Temple when I was just a baby. It was all I knew, and I did have attachments to some of my fellow students, and to my master in particular. Learning to let go is one of the hardest lessons a Jedi will ever have to learn, but I have no doubt that it is something that you will succeed in and struggle with. As for your Force connection, it was a theory of mine based on what Handyman discovered about yours and the other girl's connection to the Force. I don't know for sure that you'll lose your connection. And based on some things Alangiri said while she was with us, make me think that maybe you won't. You may keep it into adulthood and become a wise and powerful Jedi. But none of this is relevant right now. Those are all in the future, and they will be dealt with, that path walked when it is here. Your focus should be on what's happening here and now, on the decisions you are making now. Again, there are an infinite number of possibilities, an infinite amount of what ifs. But there is only one present, one here and now. And so this is where your attention and your focus should be.
Master, this is where I focus. Thank you for talking to me.
That's what I'm here for.
And so I don't.
Yes.
Around to make sure it's just you two. Leans in and, hey, I'm so sick and tired of pancakes, man.
Well, what would you like then?
Anything but pancakes. She makes it all the time. I don't want to hurt her feelings because she's always so angry, but I just don't want to eat pancakes anymore, and the others feel that way too.
Well, maybe we can bring some variety to the breakfast menu. I'll see what we can arrange.
Lovely Tail thought it was funny, which is why she was, so eagerly to breakfast for everybody.
Oh, that makes sense.
And she gets up and takes in a deep breath and it out, and you sense that she does feel better. Thank you, Master. She bows. She goes to start to walk away and then stops and turns back. I'm glad you and Hud are together. And happy. I'm happy about it.
Yes, she does. And thank you.
Bows respectfully and walks away. And on that note, we will end tonight's session.
Sounds good to me.
Waiting for Hadassah.
Well, I was surprised at being jumped so far ahead, but I'm a fan.
I mean, you want to role play the 2 weeks sitting in space? Dude,
Well,
I can rewind that shit real quick.
no.
We kind of did with in-betweens last time.
How about this? Between now and I'll do some more BS sessions on the ship that will not have any timestamps. Okay? And you guys between now and let me get my calendar out. Okay. So between now and the 19th, you guys can have as many in-betweens as you want to cover the 3 weeks of travel time.
Okay.
Well, that's if we want. I mean, personally, I know how easy it is to get into a routine. I mean, and Dura would be using the air quotes dull time to, continue the girls' education. So they're all going to be pretty busy. If we just want to move on, we can move on.
I mean, there's conversations I'd like to have, but I have a question for Mike before you answer that. Are we not playing Saturday night?
Well, Hadassah is going to be out MIA Saturday night. So I was planning on playing, but nothing serious because she's not here.
Okay.
I forgot she was going to be out, and I was going to ask if we were going to be at our next stop, next session. So I guess the answer to that is no.
Yeah, correct. And as far as like, you know, what you said, Duro, I do have something I want to see. And now I notice some of you guys have been doing this without permission. Please know that intermissions, the in-game intermissions belong to me. So that whole thread, that's all my stuff. So you posting stuff to there is, please don't do that. That said, I'm going to make a waiver. Duro, I want to see. I want your artistic vision of a typical day with the girls and with Cheery as an individual. I want to see how you handle that with the girls. Now, keep in mind, you know, these are girls, they're force sensitive, and, you know, just try to play them as girls. Don't play them as they've been trained as Jedi from birth. That's the only thing I ask.
Well, I have worked with kids for many years. I am well aware.
Right.
It's actually probably the thing I've done most with my life so far is working with children.
So, I mean, I definitely want to see that.
Yeah, Haj just asked a good question. Are we heading out towards Elysium, or are we going back to Arkanless?
I couldn't tell you. That's up to the captain.
Warkanals was the last port we stopped at before heading to Origin, so I was under the impression that was the closest port / trading hub to that particular hyperspace lane. So, yes, next stop is Warkanals to resupply and refuel, and then straight from there to the Prelock homeworld to return that compass. After that, we can figure out what we want to do next.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
And hey, if we can find like a transport job or hauling cargo or something in the general Prelock direction, we do need to start making some income. Keep the lights on.
But the professor is going to be with us, is that right?
Yes, the professor is with you.
So he's no longer footing the bill?
Well, that's the thing. He keeps calling us freeloaders, and I'm getting tired of it. So we're gonna make some money. But no, Duro has how did Traveler refer to it? 25,000 bars that he got from the sale of the second medical station because he couldn't take a whole shuttle crammed literally full to bursting of medical supplies into the unknown regions.
Yeah, because medical supplies would not have been a great method to barter with.
Yeah, it really would have been difficult moving around the shuttle, though. But anyway, he said Duro's share was 25,000 bars, which I get the impression it's a lot like bullion, where it's not currency specific. It's got a set value. So Duro had plunked that down in front, not literally, obviously, but made the professor aware of that when he also said that he would take over the duties of quartermaster, that they could run the ship off of that for a little bit. But Duro was also aware that that's not going to last forever, so they need to start making some income. And I was actually going to ask the same question that Hodge just asked.
Yeah, I'm going to wait for him to answer that question because I've got a separate question myself.
There you go.
Okay.
So
So
raise an eyebrow.
is the chaos metal still on board?
No, that was yeeted into the sand at the first available opportunity.
Okay, good. We are no longer on Origin. Is there a way to tell if we aged any significant amount, or did we just not?
Well, as soon as we are in range of a communication triad, we will be able to resynchronize the shipboard clock with whatever the air quotes galactic standard is. So we'll know if we spent extra time that way, because we'll, before our clock is resynced, we will see how out of sync we are.
So just to add for the story, okay? You guys, like I said, you guys spent a total of 3 weeks on Origin with 4 weeks of travel time. So you guys were legitimately gone down that rabbit hole for a total of 7 weeks.
Right.
Okay. No, I just want y'all to make sure you remember that.
Yes, but there was the very real possibility of time passing faster for us on Origin than it passed outside of that system for the rest of the galaxy. I think that's what Tassara was asking. Was it 7 weeks outside of the Origin system, or was it only 4 weeks to account for our travel time, or like 4.5 weeks?
I don't understand what Ava's saying. 7 weeks, Nova said, on the planet. What does that mean?
Hang on. Nova said that they've been there for 7 weeks on Origin. Oh, that's what she was hearing. Never mind.
3 weeks in, 4 weeks on planet, or 4 weeks in, 3 weeks on planet, 4 weeks out, correct?
Yeah, something about that. More on that.
And Duro is asking about the time anomaly that existed between the Gungnir and the village, and the time it was spent on the Gungnir passing faster because of the gravitational anomaly, and if that affected aging of the party at all.
Sorry, 9 weeks. Y'all were there for 9 weeks.
On planet 9 weeks?
No,
or 3 weeks in, 3 weeks on planet, 3 weeks off.
Yeah, 3 weeks in, 3 weeks on planet, 3 weeks off.
Okay, so it'd be 9. Okay, 3 weeks from Workenless to Origin, 3 weeks on the sand, and then 3 weeks back to Workenless.
Yeah. Another thing I'd like to see from you guys is an average day in your life. I want a glimpse of your daily routine.
Is journal entries? Where do you want us to put that?
That'll be in journal entries. I mean, Hodge is already doing a really good job of that. I want to see everybody else. I want to see your daily routine.
Okay.
Okay.
And Duro, as far as Cheery goes, she's got 300 XP towards her 2000 for her first level. And when I create Cheery's character, Duro, I'm going to set it up in such a way that it is you will be able to see it. because you're teaching her. You should know what she's learning.
Okay, that makes sense. I heard everything you said. I just had to step away for a second. So
That's fine.
I have a question about the other girls.
Yes.
I know that we had decided that we would teach them. So I believe Tessara, Hodge, and Astra were teaching the girls. But what we were teaching them wasn't really like banged out. I'm pretty sure Hodge was taking the physical stuff in the cargo bay. But was there anything in particular that Astra and Tessara are supposed to be teaching these girls? I mean, that would have been Duro to set that up, I think.
yes, and I said so very specifically at the time. I'd always intended what Traveler was asking for with like a daily schedule for the girls, like a day in the life. I had always intended to. I can't remember where I had intended to put it, but somewhere I had intended to put how he structured his classroom / day with the girls. I just never got around to that. But I have, out of character as a player, and obviously in character as Duro, thought about it. And Cheery is the exception because she knows what she's getting into for the most part and has chosen it. But with the girls, it's not Jedi training. There is meditation and how to control their force abilities for as long as they have them. You know, how to have that emotional control so that they're not dangerous. But so there's meditation, there's that kind of thing. And he's also teaching them, your normal everyday things that a kid would learn. For Star Wars in particular, things like math, science, uh, even just basic astrogation. Where things are. Think the things you learned in elementary, middle, and high school, though they're in elementary school, obviously, and translate that to Star Wars, and that's what you're teaching them.
Okay.
It will probably be a little more difficult for Tessara to teach them because she was not taught in the wider galaxy in a classroom setting. But where Duro saw Tessara being most helpful was in the meditative things and in language lessons with Cybisti, because she knows as much as he and Hodge and Astra do about that language.
Okay. I was asking because I was wondering, like, I don't have the skill points right now, but when I level up again, I will likely have enough to do this navigation of the chaos, because right now only Duro and Astra are able to do that. A lot, well, the girls are too, obviously. So I was wondering, like, will the girls be attempting to teach Tessara this, and then when I level up, getting that, skills is actually making sense.
So the girls can do it because of their racial ability. This is a racial thing for them. And
Okay.
they can't teach Tessara to do it how they do it. But they can help Tessara understand how she can do it, assuming you guys let them do it. Again, really dangerous things.
Let them do it. It's my understanding they had been doing it like almost all along.
No, it was actually expressly told to me that the girls will not be navigating the Gungnir.
Wow, that's news to me. I swear they had been taking shifts this whole time.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I had said that they would not be made to do it unless or because it was so dangerous, but my fears were allayed in game by Handyman and the Professor, and then the Professor had made a comment about freeloaders, so Duro said it had to be limited to 2-hour shifts, but they have been allowed to navigate. Just limited shifts. It does also take some of the burden off of him and Astra, instead of just having the two of them doing it all the time.
Okay. Then we can do that. I stand corrected because I could have swore I remember Duro saying, not going to do this. And it was one of those conversations where he stood his ground with the professor.
Yeah, in character, it was at least the professor, and then it was either Handyman or Hodge, one of the two that pointed out the benefits of having them help, and he compromised by limiting the shifts. You at that point made it clear that they cannot do it as long as the adults can, just physically can't.
Right.
Right, because I think Astra and Duro were doing it for like 10 hours a shift.
Okay, because I was going off of the wrong impression. It's
Yeah, I think at one point
it's
Cherry was navigating.
say again.
Like when we made it to Origin, Cherry was the one at the navigation console.
I thought Astra was the one because she had.
Yeah, it was
Cheery.
Astra.
No, it was Cheery. Astra was in her quarters. It was Cheery at the navigation controls with Handyman.
Okay.
Oh, because I thought Astra had sensed that they had to go into the nebula.
We might want to.
I think. You know what? It may not have been Origin, or no, it may have been the nebula that Cheery got to, and then we had to figure out how to actually get to Origin.
Did the ship get damaged exiting Origin? Would need to be fixed anywhere?
I mean, if you guys want, I can make a reason for the girls to navigate for you guys. Again, I myself, as a player, as a storyteller, was going off the assumption that Duro stood his ground and they were not navigating.
Yeah, I think you were the only one that had that impression.
Yeah, that's disappointing because that would have changed a lot of the girls' behavior.
And if memory serves, it was only if they wanted to. They were not going to be put into servitude in order to do this.
Because it was something they don't want to do.
Okay, well then I think it was miscommunicated. So here is my suggestion. Again, I'm not the game master, but here's my suggestion. Traveler's already said that if they were navigating, it would change the way he's portrayed them. So we will say that Duro made the compromise with the professor, but after the first couple of, maybe even the first full day, when all of them had one shift, he could see that it was something they dreaded. And so he went to the professor and was like, "Look, this isn't going to work out. You know, we'll spare them from navigating, and we'll take care of it ourselves."
Let me meet you halfway on this compromise, okay? I'm okay with doing it, and there's a reason why I want it like this. Let's have that happen on the return trip. Duro is trying to fulfill the professor's desires of, hey, no freeloaders, because you guys just got the girls. You haven't had them for very long. In fact, this was the very first planetfall you had with them.
Yeah.
That is true.
So
they weren't even with us on Workinals. It was en route that we rescued them.
right, and this, and you, as you guys know, this was the first time in months they were even allowed out of the ship, which is why the vacate the air quote camping trip was so important to them, because they were never allowed off the ship.
Right.
So let's do this. Let's have an in between where Duro comes and talks to the girls about this. Are you okay with that as a compromise?
That's fine. You said that it was something they don't like doing. I think Duro would have noticed that since they were at light, or in hyperspace almost constantly for 2 weeks.
But the thing is, the reason why I offer this is because this way here, Duro can actually have in-game experience of yes, they don't like it, and the more important reason, why.
And you don't want to go back in time, which I understand.
The whole reason why I don't want to go back in time is because it may change things going forward, and I don't want to do that.
Well,
Oh,
if it's an in between, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, and I understand that sentiment.
If it's an in between, it'll have to be with Duro and Mike playing the girls.
No, not even that. It could be a conversation between Duro and Cheery. Now that Cheery has this new relationship with Duro, maybe Duro now feels like, okay, now I have somebody I can talk to and, present this idea that the professor and he had come up with.
So let me just get this straight. Did they help navigate on the way to Origin, or
This would take place right after you guys left Origin. They have not navigated yet, and Duro's getting ready to enact this plan, air quotes.
okay. So they did not navigate at all on the way to Origin. They were just doing their lessons and learning. But now that we've left Origin, Duro is like, hey, no freeloaders. That's what the professor wanted. So let's get a schedule going for shifts. That's what you're saying.
Correct.
I
Say that again.
I am perfectly fine with that. My
Okay.
push to talk did not like me for a second.
Is everybody else okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Then that's how we'll do it.
Sounds good to me. And it makes sense. There's a bit of a language barrier, so it's not like he can go and talk to all of the girls individually about it.
So, Hodge, why did you call Cheery obnoxious?
I didn't call Cherry obnoxious.
You said
I
she's
called Fluffy Tail obnoxious.
Oh. Because you put Cheery at the end of it, so I thought you were calling Cheery obnoxious.
No, I said she's obnoxious as AF, Cheery. I was calling Fluffy Tail obnoxious.
And addressing that statement to Cheery.
Correct.
I had the same impression that Traveler did, so I'm glad that got explained.
No, if I was calling Cheery obnoxious, I would have said Cheery is as obnoxious AF. My comment was that Cheery sounds mysteriously more than 5 weeks older. It's like all of a sudden her balls dropped while over the course of 5 weeks.
Hey, look, in my defense, I've lost a lot of weight, so that weight has moved fat out of the way, and my balls have technically dropped again.
That was more information than I needed to know. And secondarily, she seems to have matured exponentially, I guess, is probably the better way of phrasing that.
I'm trying to nail down her.
Do that to you.
I'm trying to nail down her personality. I apologize for the.
I've got a question about something. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt, Tosh. Go ahead.
It's funny because I was about to ping Duro, who was saying something.
Oh, I had just said Jedi training will do that to you, the maturity thing. I mean, but I didn't have a problem with it because they had just finished a meditation session, and she's been training for, I guess, 5 weeks at this point in being a Jedi. I can see her, even if she's not actually more mature, trying to be more mature.
Fair enough.
But out of character, Traveler said he's just trying to nail down her personality, so I'm sure it'll even out.
Fair to that as well.
I had a question about learning their language because Tessara did see, or hear, or find out somehow that Fluffy Tail had been able to speak to Cheery in her own language, and Tessara does have this gift of being able to understand it, but not speak or write it. But I think now that she knows that these girls are not going anywhere for a while, they're going to be with us. I think she would want to learn how to speak their language. Is that something that I can work on during the time that we're in space?
You can, and as soon as you level up and have the skill points you want to vest to it, you can do that.
Okay.
The only reason why I'm not going to give it free is because you're not immersing yourself in the language the way y'all instructed, how you instructed that Cybisi would. The order was given, Cybisi will be spoken on the Gungnir, so you guys are forcing yourselves to learn it.
Yeah, no, I'm totally cool with that. I'm fine with adding it when I level up.
Yeah, sounds good to me too.
Yeah. So, any other questions, comments, concerns?
I think you're starting to figure out what does and does not appeal to me from even Legends canon and are going out of your way to add things to make me roll my eyes.
Actually, I didn't. I mean, I didn't even know those stupid things were from Legends until because I knew what I wanted, and I know what I'm looking for. And while I know you're like, oh, this won't work, I know it will work.
Care to explain?
Yeah, when you mix it with a fighting style, there's actually a fighting style that goes with elongated god damn it, Fugon's like this. That's not Fugon. Something else.
I am familiar with the fighting style and how these weapons are used in real life. What I say does not work is when you put them in the Star Wars setting with lightsabers that can cut through just about anything.
I disagree. A lightsaber by its nature can't cut through just about anything. In fact, a lightsaber will bounce off of metal.
It depends on the type of metal.
No. This one's for Duro because I can hear his wheels grinding over there. Dare you to prove me wrong, Duro. A lightsaber will bounce off of metal. And this is canon.
That is a little squiffy. I mean, they slice through things like battle droids and blaster barrels and things like that without even pausing to take notice.
Mm-hmm.
But thicker metals like a starship's hull or a door, yeah, it'll bounce off before it melts through.
Or maybe a railing.
You're thinking of the Empire Strikes Back duel.
Yep, sure am.
See,
Wow.
I chalk that up to movie making in the late 70s and early 80s because yes, there are a couple of shots of the lightsaber bouncing off the railing. There's also one notable shot where clearly the special effect was planned and the lightsabers cut through the railing. The lightsaber also cuts through the railing on the second Death Star in Return of the Jedi.
Well, so the thing is I do bring that up as a funny thing, but I know these weapons will work when tied with the proper fighting style, which in game mechanics is only fluff. And when the material of the weapons are such like Cortosov's, which these are. So when she goes to block with these suckers, it's going to crackle and shut the lightsaber.
Right, which, okay, Cortosis, fine. Beskar, even, fine. Both metals are incredibly rare and difficult to work with, but I'm sure the God Empress of the universe has enough resources to make a couple of lightsaber tonfas out of them.
Well, she doesn't have enough to do. She didn't have enough to do Beskar. So she's busy. She's been on a hunt for Beskar for a while, and Kortosov isn't as rare as you think.
I just finished reading, on your recommendation, I might add,
Mhm.
Thrawn Alliances, and it was said then that it's pretty rare.
Alliances, is that the one with where Thrawn meets General Skywalker?
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Did you see how much they had around?
Yes, I did. They also said it was very rare and difficult to find. They were surprised at how much was around.
Yeah, it was an entire mine.
Yes, on one world out of how many inhabited worlds in the galaxy?
Yeah. Anyway,
I would argue it's as rare as Beskar.
I would agree with you.
But yeah, rule zero. If you say it will work, it will work. I just know as someone who has practiced fencing and swordplay that in a setting with lightsabers and their cutting power, lightsaber tampas are ridiculous. But again, rule zero.
Look, it's not even rule 0 on this one here, and this is my middle finger because it's literally in the game. It's in the rules. These things exist, and if the book says they exist and they say, "Hey, they work," well then okay, they work because mechanically it's just fluff. That's all it is.
Okay, again, you do you.
so,
Your universe.
so it's like, I mean, lightsaber whips are a fucking thing, and flying lightsabers are a fucking thing, and I'm like, okay,
And
well,
all of those are ridiculous too. Give Grievous 4 Inquisitor sabers, and he can become a drone.
Umbrella lightsabers are a thing too. Don't forget that.
Ashante should turn her lightsaber into a light whip just to drive Duro insane.
no, because as much as I can go round and round with with Nova's lightsabers, light whips are just. I'll pick my battles because at least this one here, I know that there is a fighting style that would work with it. The whip is just idiotic.
You're right. The lightsaber tampas can work. I said they were ridiculous, so I never said they can't work. But they are highly circumstantial. You have to have the right fighting style. The handles have to be made out of the correct and very rare material,
Yeah.
and it's highly circumstantial. Whereas what's wrong with a good old lightsaber? A good old, very versatile lightsaber.
Because it doesn't fit the character. Everything about everything about Nova is not not common. Everything about her is unique.
So what I'm hearing is she's a special snowflake.
No, not what you're hearing.
Aren't we all? From a certain point of view.
Oh my god.
I guess. Nothing is stopping Traveler from doing it. I have not poured over the supplemental books like I have the core rule book. I believe you that they exist in the game and that there are rules and stats for them. That's fair. Even if there weren't, you can rule zero this all you want. But I am also free to roll my eyes and say that it is ridiculous.
There are no special rules or stats for them. Again, it is by nature it's fluff. It's a lightsaber that's wielded differently. It's no different than a curved lightsaber or a or a light whip or that the lightsaber that's designed to be thrown. And mechanically, there's no different to them. They do the exact same thing. Mechanically.
Okay.
While I
Well,
find this topic absolutely, utterly fucking fascinating,
exhausting, you mean?
I'm going to bounce because I have to go to work tomorrow. So I will say goodbye. And
Oh,
if I have any-
wait. I had one announcement before everybody leaves, and I apologize. I bought Kitty tickets to come visit me or to come visit us in October. So just want to let you know, Kitty will be in Orlando in October.
Yes, we started talking a little bit about that. Those I think the 2 weeks that Kitty is there,
3.
Amy. Okay, Amy is going to be gone for a huge chunk of that. I'm going to be gone for a chunk of that, and we started talking about the escape room on the 12th.
That went up like a lead balloon because you had to work.
I didn't say anything about that. I don't even know what date the 12th of November is.
Well, I won't be there for the 12th. I'm going back on the 3rd of November.
What? I thought we talked about the 12th.
Yeah, we did. We talked about the escape room on the 12th, and you were totally down with that, clown.
I
Oh,
was, but trying to figure out how to make the escape room and being there for Halloween work was kind of a nightmare.
Ah, fair enough. Amy's going to be gone for. When do you leave, Davis?
like the second week of October, I think.
So you leave either the 10th or the 17th.
Well, let me go look at a calendar. Hang on.
All right.
Yeah, I needed to know if the 12th would work for a lot of people because the ticket brings in like 6.
The 12th, I will absolutely be back. I will absolutely not be working. That's a Saturday. I am totally down with that, clown.
And if I buy it
I'll
now,
be-
I can get 50% off, and it's only $40 compared to 80.
I'll be gone the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, maybe 8th, 9th. I have to check with my dad and find out about flights to and from California.
I will be leaving Florida on October 20th or 21st, and I will not be back until the 9th, 8th or 9th of November.
Cool. So I'll still get to see you because I'm gonna be there on the 12th of October.
Yay!
The 12th of
Yes.
October? You sure about
I
that?
thought it was
Yep.
the 12th.
Yep. You're going to be
I
there.
thought it was the 12th to the 3rd
No,
of
you are.
November.
And Charlotte and I are just chopped liver over here.
Well,
Mike,
dude,
I do.
I am trying to get you here, dude. You can't blame me on that.
Yes, by trying to recruit me into the Nazi party.
I have never tried to make
What?
you a MAGA person.
Disney.
He said if I get a job at Disney, he'll send me a case of Fanta.
I did say that.
Oh.
Good old Nazi cola.
God.
Hey, look up the history of Fanta.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Unless there's no other announcements or whatnot, I'm going to peace out. I have been laying in bed for the last half an hour, nearly falling asleep against that absolutely fascinating conversation about lightsaber weaponry. I'm riveted, fucking riveted. I swear to God.
Hey. You Tassara just imbued her kyber crystal. You cannot give me grief about lightsabers.
I know I'm not giving you grief about lightsabers at all. I'm just talking about the fighting style and the Beskar and the whatever they are that Nova has. I was like, I have about as much clue about what is going on right now as I know backwards German. So I'm just gonna lay here and stay quiet.
I mean, okay. I actually had meant to ask you, what are Tassara's plans with her crystal? Is she trying to make a lightsaber?
Well, that's actually an in between that I'd like to have with Duro. Like Tassara is going to approach Duro when he's free and have that in between and talk about it.
Well, they got 3 effing weeks out in deep space, so
Yep.
now's as
Yep.
good a time as any.
Absolutely. That's what the plan is.
This is going to be a fun week of in-betweens.
Right.
Yep.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. All right, good night.
Escape room too, right? Okay.
Sounds like Duro has something he's asked.
Yep.
It was a question, but completely off topic, and I can ask it in text chat by the fire later.
Okay.
I just was wondering if anybody was interested in doing anything on Monday, since we're still on hiatus, waiting for Kenobi.
I'm down.
I'm down.
Kenobi.
I'm actually down for any pop-ups. We can do movies. I'm open for anything.
What about a
I'm-
one shot?
A what?
A one shot,
What do you mean?
Huh.
and we're all a bunch of RPers, and no one knows what a one